It is a championship Sunday on Morning Drive with one look again on Saturday at Pebble Beach to get to see that glorious location on the Monterey Peninsula late in the afternoon because of all of the weather delays. They really just got it in right as the sun went down. Welcome inside Studio AP. Gary Williams, Paige McKenzie, Charlie Reimer, LT in just a second. Charlie, you were just saying it. We love going there, and it's an infrequent place for us to be able to visit. But we got to see it at a time of the day where normally they're off the air.
Yeah, when the sun gets low, the shadows get long, and it's just a spectacular place. I first got to go to Pebble Beach back in 1992. I qualified for the U.S. Open. My wife and I went out there. A few other members of our family went out there. I fell in love with it in 1992. And for the folks who've never been there, you might watch the telecast, you might listen to the announcers, and they're very syrupy about it. Believe me, Pebble Beach is worthy of that syrup because it is the sweetest place on the planet that I know of.
And it's everything about that property, too. It's not even just playing the golf course, which obviously we all love, but being outside of the restaurant, the views off of the 18th green, it really is very special. It was so nice that the fog has lifted, and we got a chance to really see it yesterday.
And we hope that they have another day like that. Now, in '92, Bill Murray was not in the field of the U.S. Open. Thankfully, he wasn't, but he has been in the Pro-Am field a lot, certainly over the last couple of decades, and he had some funny moments. Here is tee shot on the 7th hole.
Good shot.
That's a good shot. Now, Bill has a propensity for throwing his clubs.
He's a little dramatic.
In a borderline violent way. Now, that's not a bad toss.
No, but he almost lost the club because if you watch DA points right here, DA almost threw it in the ocean.
I wish he'd have done it. That would have been really cool.
So he was lucky he kept his club, but...
You know, Bill has a lot of fun. You see that outfit, you think he's not a golfer. He really is a golfer. I mean, he should have got 2 strokes for that. But
two?
He's got a great pair of hands. He hit some good putts, some good chips. He loves it, and he's not quite 100%. He's had some hand surgery recently. But I wouldn't recommend that for the kids. Although, to be fair, there weren't a lot of people standing over there. But you definitely could have put somebody's eye out with that one.
A 2-stroke penalty and a homicide charge. Well, that's what Saturday is. There's some people who don't like it. We understand that. But let's say good morning to Lauren Thompson. LT, how are you?
Good morning, Gary. Glad to be in here in Studio AP on a Sunday. But that's what sets apart this week on the PGA Tour and the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Moving, though, into your top stories, it was a second edition for the Maybank Championship in Malaysia. And Fabrizio Zanotti, he was your winner. The 33-year-old from Paraguay was just inside the top 10 after 54 holes, then made a hard charge to capture his second European Tour title with a final round that included 7 birdies and an eagle on 18. Moving back stateside, though, to Boca Raton, Florida, and the old course at Broken Sound for the PGA Tour Champions Allianz Championship, there was a 4-way tie at the top between Olin Brown, Joe Durant, Doug Garwood, and Scott McCarron. Fred Couples, he birdied the final 2 holes to pull within a stroke of the leaders. He is in second place with Tom Pernice Jr. Now on to AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Jordan Spieth, wow, were you watching this? He made putting on Poa annua greens look easy. The 2-time major champion separated himself from the rest of the field by 6 shots with his second straight 65 as he chases his first win of this PGA Tour season. Brandt Snedeker, he's in second place at 11 under, followed by Dustin Johnson. So you want to follow that later today. But for more, let's get you over to Gary Williams.
Lauren, it is something we enjoy every year, particularly when a lot of people, unfortunately, are dealing with harsh winter conditions. And this is the centerpiece, certainly, of a 17-mile drive. Obviously, Cypress Point, which is ultra-private. But this is one of the great gems of the world that we have where golf is played. And you can play it publicly. Now, it's pricey. Now, for these guys, missing putts like this, Charlie, can cost you.
No, the #1 player in the world who had probably the best year ever in putting last year certainly hasn't gotten off to a great start this season.
Surprising that he would shoot 75. He finished with a lot of momentum when he concluded his morning round. Now, a guy who's won here twice, Paige, he was throwing darts late in the day.
Well, it has soft greens, so that does help. In this 8th hole, we're going to take a closer look at this and, in particular, Brandt's shot there, but excellent approach into a very difficult hole.
He blitzed the front 9, which was his inward 9. He started on 10. Speaking of 10, Charlie, remember those little teacups that you get with a china set? My daughter's had them. That would have gone in one of those.
No, I never really had a tea set, Gary, but I do like watching Jordan Spieth make putts. He's making everything he looks at.
That's right. You had talking trucks. You have sons. I apologize. Paige, let's get to him on the 11th, his second. This had a chance, not once, but twice.
Yes, and a lot of it had to do with this transition in his golf swing. I'll tell you what, Jordan Spieth is working on all cylinders. Watch his golf swing these days and the beautiful transition at the top.
He would make that and get to 14 under par. Then he's got himself a 4-shot lead at this point, Charlie. Now here on the 15th hole, he's got that shadow just over the hole.
Yeah, it's another putt that's going to find the bottom of the cup. But remember, he's given himself a ton of opportunities. He's hitting 80% of his greens. You get someone who putts it like Jordan Spieth, giving himself that many opportunities, he's going to take advantage of it.
Now we go on to 17. He hits it onto the front of the putting surface, and again, long shadows. And look at the pace, Paige, of this putt.
Yeah, and it's become a very gettable hole when you do have that hole location in front, tees up a little bit. It's going to be a little bit more challenging on Sunday. Take those birdies when you can get them.
Gets to 16 under, lays up. He had some tree issues, that tree that's right in the center of the fairway. So he lays up to this yardage, Charlie, and this one goes zip.
Yeah, 55 yards. Folks at home, go out and try and hit a 55-yard shot. It ain't that easy.
No, it's not. And it was interesting, early on in his career, he was hounded a little bit. A little nitpicky about the fact that he wasn't closing 54-hole leads early on, but look at the last 7. And the one he didn't was the Masters tournament last year.
I do remember that conversation about him as a closer. Oh, how times have changed.
They have indeed. They have. And you go back, by the way, when he didn't close the Masters, 3 starts later, he had a 54-hole lead at Colonial and won. That shows that, you know, he can get over some stuff. He's got to go back there. But for right now, Charlie, you were incredibly bullish on Jordan Spieth to start the week. And I want you to explain to the viewers again why.
Yeah, you can just see it coming. You know, top 10 finishes in all his starts this year. He's coming off of 15 consecutive rounds now where he's broken par. He's done a lot of hard work and a little bit of off-season that he had and maybe shoring up the golf swing a little bit to get back on track with the ball striking. The putter really never has left him. You know, occasionally he has you know, maybe a 2 or 3 hole stretch where he doesn't make one, but those are very rare. But you can just see a player like Jordan Spieth spooling up and getting ready to have a big year. And I think that's what we're seeing. I think that you know, he obviously will get it done today. I don't have any doubt about that. But I'm interested to see how this springboards him into the rest of the season. It's shaping up to be a big Jordan Spieth year right now.
Well, and it is interesting coming off of last season where his name wasn't in the forefront coming down the stretch. It was a lot more about Jason Day. And as we take a look at these worldwide starts that you alluded to, starting off with that win in the fall or winter, I guess it would be, it has been incredibly solid. But you wonder if coming down the stretch, dropping to 6th in the world, if he's thinking, I want to get my name back up there, and how much of it is an internal competitiveness with himself. When I look at Jordan Spieth, that's what I think about.
I think you're absolutely right. I think he's hyper-competitive about every situation, about every shot. It's a competition. And I do think he's very happy for his friend Justin Thomas, but I think Justin Thomas added some motivation to him. Those third-place finishes, he was just kind of an afterthought. And Charlie, back to what you said about his putting. This is not new. For someone to have, they're like, well, at some point, that putter's going to cool off. This is his 5th full season on the PGA Tour. Take him anywhere in the world on any strand of grass, he will do what he's doing this week.
Yeah, a lot of times people will say you rely too much on the putting, you're a streaky putter. Well, Ben Crenshaw, I mean, come on.
Was one of the most errant drivers of this generation.
One of the most errant drivers, but you can't say he was a streaky putter. He putted great every time he ever played.
For 25 years.
Yeah, and that's what you're seeing with Jordan Spieth. It's not streaky, it's not hot, it's just who he is and what he does. He makes putts.
Well, I think the vast majority of people probably discount great putters versus great ball strikers. Because frankly, you can go out and play a round of golf with a 20 handicap that starts draining 30-footers on you, and you're like, anybody can do that. I mean, you've been there, I've been there.
Right.
And I think to some extent, analysts and fans discount players that rely heavily on their putter.
Totally
and
agree.
definitely weigh ball strikers heavier. So for Jordan Spieth, we have learned this is who he is. And when you have those weeks and these now months that he's having great ball striking tournaments, you can see it pay off.
I think it's true. I think he gets a little prickly when people act as if he can't hit it long enough. And his ball striking, you look at his total strokes gained tee to green, he's up there. Now, Saturday is also about the celebrities, and we know the days are long. Some people don't like this, some people do, but you know what? If you're going to watch it, let's watch one of the better athletes in the world. A guy who can fling a football 40 yards rolling left. That's a good shot from Aaron Rodgers.
He knows a little bit about distance and soft hands.
Yeah.
That's a very good shot. He and his partner, Jerry Kelly, they missed the cut. Now, we put this one in here for Paige. Don't know why. Josh Duhamel.
He's good looking, but more importantly, it's a good looking shot.
It is. Well, actually, she called him pretty in our morning meeting. But they are in contention. They're in third place. He is partnered with Tony Finau out. Andy Garcia, Charlie, he's come to this event for decades.
He has. Classy guy, classy golfer. Love his style. Look at it. You see the little twirl right there? And then you got to pick up the cigar before the ball stops rolling.
Pretty good.
That's a Hollywood move right there.
He's got style. That quilted vest, very, very regal. Now, Andy Roddick loves golf. He is a big guy. He's 6'3.5".
A lot of people wouldn't expect that, and it wasn't the prettiest of techniques, but you get on the 18th green in front of a lot of people. That shot, well done. Yeah, well done. He missed the cut with his partner, Jeff Holgeby, who, by the way, is having a good week. He's on the back half of the first page of the professional leaderboard. Now, the guy who really stole the show, who is a bona fide entertainer, Justin Rose, how can you be so fortunate, Charlie, not only to catch this photo, but look at that sun stripe. What an amazing photo that is. If for no other reason, he captured this shot. It'd have been interesting if Justin had missed seeing this shot because he was so worried about the selfie, but he got to see everything. How cool was that? That's the worst two ever. And I'll tell you why. Because that should have gone in. It should have. And he's look at him. He's miserable. He's going to make it two. Well, if that should have gone in, then let's fast forward to the back nine, because he got a little bit of luck from the flag stick. He did. It's had a little heat on it, but very good line for a birdie. I mean, he was associated with that event in Vegas. I wish he could find a home to really make a PGA Tour event and put his name on it. And here on 17, Charlie, this one too. Now, this for par had a little heat as well. Yeah, this one, for the par, as you mentioned, but he called it right before he pitched it. He turned to Willie Mack and said, "This one's going in," and he knocked it in a bucket. That's impressive. And that's how you exit a stage right there. And he knows how to exit the stage. There's no doubt. Now, speaking of stages, Charlie, I think you've seen his shows. And I think he was trying to hit it literally into the crowd. I don't know what's funnier, his golf game or his shows. Well, I do know the shows are a little bit funnier, but he is pretty darn good on the range. He's fallen in love with this game. It's a 15 handicap, and he's starting to be able to take it to the golf course with all these people watching. This is someone who has the golf bug, absolutely loves this game. And that's good, because all of their different fan bases may not have much of an interest in golf, but you know what? They'll watch, and who knows if you get some traction with some people. So here is your Pro-Am leaderboard. Spieth and Owen, and for Jake Owen, he's a good friend of Jordan Spieth. He's going to try to stay out of the way. See Duke and Daly, Finau and Duhamel, and Wayne Gretzky and Dustin Johnson. Very good showing. Excellent Saturday, shooting 61. And you see Timberlake and Rose, there was some doubt maybe they would be in a card playoff, and who knows whether they would get in or not, but as you can see, they did. And by the way, Brant Sedrick and Toby Wild, who won this event, they will, and by the way, Larry the Cable Guy, who is part of the Reimer Project. It was announced yesterday, Charlie's going to play 5 events next year on PGA Tour Champions. Yes, that is not a typo. He is the nutritionist on Charlie's team. Okay, for the record, we do have a nutritionist actually coming in here today, so there's also help if Larry doesn't get it right. Larry the Cable Guy is definitely a nutrition expert because he knows everything not to do. So that's why he's on my team. We're going to keep it light as well. But let's look at a situation that Larry had out on the golf course. These guys, as I mentioned, Larry's a lot of fun, but these guys get heckled a lot from the gallery, and sometimes it gets to him a little bit. Here's a putt that he leaves a little bit short, and some folks had to chirp in just a little bit. And you think you can do any better? Hey man, give me the putter. All right, come on. Let's go. Bring it on, says Cable Guy, which is a really cool way to deal with the heckler. So we get the heckler out here, and so the heckler's got a shot now. You can go ahead and roll this. We'll see what we get. Pretty good stroke. He gets what he deserves. He gets the hook. Out of here. All in good fun. But we thought this would be a nice opportunity, Paige, to, I mean, obviously when that heckler comes out of the gallery there, I mean, that
feeling a lot of pressure. And people on putts that length feel some pressure. So help us through the situation.
For sure. And I think the biggest thing is the expectations change. When you get a putt that you're supposed to make, the nerves start going. When you have a 10-footer, it comes and goes. People probably don't expect you to make it. That 3-footer, you know all eyes are watching you. So what I like to do when I'm facing a putt that length is I like to pick a point in front of the ball at the length I know I can make a putt. So for example, I know I'm good from about 8 inches. So like that's a gimme putt for me. So what I do is I pick a point 8 inches in front of the ball, and at this point I really should not have to worry much about line.
Hey Paige, I bet you miss it!
And
hecklers, you gonna throw me out? See? I was just trying to make it realistic.
No, but to the point, all that you should have to do at that point is trying to roll it over
Mulligan.
the point 8 inches in front of the ball.
There we go.
Which is a lot easier when you have a second chance.
We're going to give Paige a mulligan. Right now, let's go check in with LT. Lauren, what you got for us?
I don't know, Charlie. I think if it was a little late for our Sunday in Studio AP, she may have just thrown you out. We do need the big timer to stick around, though. Big things to get to. Diving into your first hour tee sheet, and with 3 of the most beautiful courses in rotation for the 76 playing at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. There's a lot to feast your eyes on, and our travel insider, he knows them well. Coming up, Matt Janelle, he's going to give you his pick for the hole of the week. He says stands out for multiple reasons. And with the second round of the Allianz Championship in the books, see the surprising lessons our tour pros took note of that have unfolded from the legends on the PGA Tour champions that you should keep in mind for your next tee time, possibly for today. Those watch and learn breakdowns are on the way. Plus, the game can serve up quite a few surprises over 18 holes, but some of the best are the sights that can make your heart skip a beat during your round. You've probably been there. We're going to unveil the best reveals, including a few from some of the players this week out at the Pebble Beach, and they're approaching those gems out on the layout before they even see them happen. So as you can see, there's a lot for us to get to over the next 2 hours, including a flashback into the history books. Find out what iconic golf course celebrated its groundbreaking ceremony on this very date almost 40 years ago. Morning Drive's with you till noon Eastern. Stick around with us. We'll be back after this.